Hey, everybody, this is Chad Daniels, and you have landed in the middle of somewhere. Hello, how are you? Thank you so much for coming back. Across from me, with his arms crossed, is Cyrus Amundsen.
Before the show, Justin said Chad was dressed like a plumber. And
Yep.
I just want everybody to know that I think he meant that as a burn, and therefore Justin, I guess, looks down on America's backbone, the working class.
Yeah, unbelievable. Hey, are you in the trades? Well, Justin doesn't give a shit. Okay?
Justin's one of these people who just has a house and doesn't understand how anything in it works or gets done.
Justin talks like he's a renter.
Oh, first of all, Justin's absolutely a renter.
I know he is, but he talks like it too because he's like, plumber. I mean, I've never had to call one. My landlord does.
Plumber, I
It
hardly
sucks.
know her. That's what he said before the show. That's the sort of person he is.
Yeah.
Talks down to plumbers and uses that joke that we've heard a lot of times. Can I tell you something?
No, you're gonna.
So my son, my toddler son,
Yeah. All right. Hey, you stopped calling him a baby.
he's a big baby. He's a toddlerish baby. He's in that baby toddler
Fuck
stage.
you. You already said toddler. Don't back it up.
So he's at a point where he loves animals, but we don't call the animals by the name of the animal. We call them by the sound. So I'll be like, hey, can you say duck? And he'll go, quack, quack. Also, his quack sounds like a really old lesbian who's been smoking a lot of cigarettes for a lot of years. Like, bah, bah, bah.
Sure.
And so why did I make it a lesbian?
Or a
And
guy
so-
that's been smoking a lot of cigarettes. I mean, it could be
You're
anybody.
the one who told me to try to bring lesbians into the show early because it'll be
Not a chance.
Chad's been talking about YouTube metadata, and I don't even know what it means. But before each episode, he's like, "Okay, first 5 minutes say lesbian," and I don't know if that's going to help us or not. So,
Hey, please keep talking about your toddler with his undeveloped brain.
hey, it's a totally normal brain.
How do we say
Typical
How do
brain.
we say Sunday?
Stop. So that sucks.
Well, we just go with what they sound like,
That
not their name.
sucks. So, but he does it with all the animals, and so like I'm not in the business of really teaching him as much as I am hanging out with him.
Yeah,
And so
that's cool.
if
That's
we're-
awesome.
If we're gonna call sheep bahs, like I'll be like, oh man, we'll open a book and be like bah, like, and then he'll be like bah, and I'll be like, aren't we the best? Aren't we best friends? And then Jen will have to be like, it's called a sheep Sunday, and we'll both look at her like bah, like come on, don't ruin the party. So we're at Target. And I'm walking, we're like walking through aisles, and Jenna and Sunday are behind me.
I'm going to stop you. I went to ECFE, Early Childhood and Family Education. I used to take Isaac there. And there was a mom there that was insufferable, similar to what you're doing. She, somebody said, which is an impossible question to ask a child. She said, what does a buffalo say? Can I tell you something? I don't know what a buffalo says.
Yeah, I don't think they talk.
Maybe not.
Whoa.
Stop chasing us
You know who knows what a
over the
buffalo-
cliff.
You know what I... Please, stop using every part of us.
Or keep using everything.
Tatanka sad.
Yeah.
Tatanka sad. I know who knows what a buffalo sounds like. My brother Greg, because he is one of these intense hunter guys.
Yeah.
Who can be like, when they want to fuck, I can tell you what they sound like. Yeah.
And he comes back limping.
Yeah.
He's like, why are you limping? Oh, because I sound just like a buffalo in heat.
Yeah.
I've mastered it. But this mom goes, what does a buffalo say? And the kid goes, moo. And she goes, yes, cows do look like buffalo. And I go, fuck you, lady. Not even close. No chance that you're going to take whatever he says and you're going to ribbit. Sometimes buffalo do jump like a froggy. That kind of shit drives me crazy. But anyways, what were you doing?
So we're at the grocery store at Target, and I round an aisle, and Jenna rounds. She's following me behind. Is how it's been going.
Okay,
Like
that's how you make her do it.
So we're going in and out of aisles, and I'm in front looking at stuff, and they're behind me, and I see something with a cow on it.
Okay.
And so I go, moo, and I like it to like,
Just like a buffalo.
I'm going to point it I'm gonna moo like a buffalo, and I'm gonna connect with my son. I'm like, there's a moo right there, like, "Mrrr," and I turned to say it to Jenna. Not Jenna at all. I don't know where we got disconnected, but I just mooed at a random woman at Target, and it was like, that's pretty. Moo is the worst animal, you know.
My only hope is that she was breastfeeding at the time.
She was not.
Okay.
She absolutely was not. It was. I literally mooed at her, and I was like, Jenna. So I don't even know if she knows. Is he just moo at his wife?
Yeah. Hey.
I should have gone.
Putting on a
Give
few.
me the cow.
Yeah, putting on a few. Mrrr. I think that's a similar feeling to a child that is holding a hand above them. Have you ever seen those videos where they look up and it's not their parent?
Oh, sure.
And they go
yeah.
full spaz and tantrum?
Dude, my kid is so into holding hands right now. We go out for a walk and he goes, hand, and then I grab his hand and I'm like, God, is this the best moment of my life? And then he does it again, and then that's the best moment of my life. What's your step? What's going on with you?
Well, my kids don't hold my hands anymore.
Is it because Isaacs can't supinate?
No, it's because they're
now the height is how
they're
no, at this
too
height,
old
that's
and it would look weird. But boy, does this feed right into what I want to tell you.
Oh my gosh!
So, Olivia and I went to Disneyland last week when we were there with friends of the show, friends of comedy, and friends in general, John and Nicole.
Oh, okay. I thought there was all. These are all those.
It's all the same group.
Are for one.
It's all the same. It's the same two people, and they brought us to Disneyland, and I have to tell you, it was so great. Olivia was there, and speaking of holding hands, I mean, I almost got to hold her hand because the first thing we went on was a roller coaster, and it wasn't a roller coaster that slowly goes tick 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 up to the top. It stops as soon as it's around the bend. Before you go up the hill, it stops. And then it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you go from 0 to 50 miles per hour in a matter of seconds. I mean, you are going. And then it's a lot of dropping to the point where when the camera goes off at the end, my daughter looks like she can't stop having strokes. It's like both sides of her face are stroked out. It was the craziest look. I'm going to ask her if we can put the picture up. She might not let me because it is that bad.
Oh, I love it.
But we're doing all that, and she won't hold my hand, and I'm saying everything. She left later in the day, so now I'm in the rides by myself, and then John and Nicole are behind me.
Okay.
And I'm screaming at kids going like, my friend fell out. Don't ride this ride. My friend fell out. And you see kids' eyes get really big, which I love. A lot of people don't like that in public, but I love doing that kind of stuff. And so, but walking around.
When did you start giving Kelsey the pet name of a lot of people?
No, I'm saying a lot of people. I don't know how she would take that. Maybe she would think it was funny.
Maybe.
Here's what I think. It was like.
Yeah, maybe because it's not an altercation.
Yeah. And so I'm walking around right when we get there, and I didn't realize there is a kind of person there called a Disney adult.
You didn't know about that?
I didn't know.
I forget how fucking old he is, Justin. Have you not been on a phone in 20 years?
First of all, son of a bitch, it's Walt Disney. It's the 70th anniversary. So it doesn't matter how old I am. I just haven't been to Disneyland.
Yeah, but
I've been there. That was my third time ever at Disneyland.
But the idea of a Disney adult has been a pretty large part of pop culture these last few. Am I crazy about that? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You've heard of them. But do you know how ridiculous and intense it is? I've also heard of them.
Oh, you made it seem like you had never heard of them.
Yes, I've heard of them, but I didn't know how fucking crazy it got. They're like so fully sewn costumes where you go, hey, Goofy, could we take a picture? And they're like, that don't work here. And you're like, okay, well, you look like you do. You grown fucking lunatic. I'm telling you, everyone had the ears and the masks and all the stuff. I honestly thought it was like adult home day where I'm just like trying to find the handlers of these homes, just going like, do they have the fast pass? I have no idea.
Sure.
And so, and then I start to think and I go, how do you get to this point in your life where you wear all of these things and you think there are some options, right? And the option we agreed on, and by we, I mean me.
Okay.
Is that you were sat down in front of a Disney movie right after your uncle touched you.
Oh, God. You could have just said trauma. You could have just said trauma.
I want
By
to
the
be
way,
specific
last
here.
week when we did an episode and I mentioned the fact that, hey, there are a disproportionately large amount of the molesters are in the church, the schools, and like kids. Like you're like, well, I'm not touching that with a 100-foot pole.
That's not even close to what I said. That's a misquote. I said you're on your own. And also, I don't know where the molesters are. I just know they create enough trauma to where an adult wears a fucking costume in public. My uncle will never find me in this goofy costume. He'll think I'm an employee and want a picture. I have a goofy costume on and a diaper. You'll never get to my butthole now. Listen, I am going to stop. But just listen to me, please.
Stop. We are listening.
But then I remembered that I had golden ears from the 50th anniversary. Because the first time I ever brought Isaac and Olivia, it was the 50th anniversary. That's 20 years ago. So Olivia was 1.5. Isaac was 6.5, probably. I think it was actually right when he turned 7. But anyways, we have all those ears with our names stitched in cursive on the back. And I have worn those fucking ears. So, not to be confused with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Sure.
I have worn them, and so I go, what this is, this Disney adult thing could be several other things. It could be the fact that they're empty nesters. Their kids have left the house, and they want to go, and they want to actually fucking have fun at Disneyland. Because I've been to Disneyland one other time with some children, and I fucking hated it.
Sure. Yeah.
I actually yelled to a child. I yelled the F word at a child because he was pretending to have whatever he has.
Do you want to go?
And so, I freaked out there.
Justin, let's just title this one The Last Episode.
But I had the best time. And once, see, here's what happens in my brain. I immediately judge so harshly and so critically.
No.
It's immediate. I walk in and I go, oh, what are these fucking idiots doing? What is this?
Look at these molestation victims that have channeled it into happiness.
That's right. And then I walk around and I see the smiles and the pure joy, and they're exchanging pins. And now I'm like, I want to go get some pins. I want to go get a costume.
Yeah.
I want to have been molested.
Come on. Why?
What?
Why? Listen. Just listen to me. I think
Okay.
the reality is somewhere in the middle with the shades of all sides. I think...
Oh my God. Hey guys, Dr. Reason has showed up. What a fucking dildo. The one time you're going to be reasonable. Of
you
course
just gave a 9-minute TED Talk about molestation.
It's not everybody was molested. Of course it's people that are just there to have fun, that have their kids aren't at the house
it with
anymore,
molestation. You started it with molestation. You weaved molestation in the middle, and then you buttoned it with molestation.
Here's what I think it is.
What am I supposed to say to that?
I think it's people that love joy. It's the happiest place on earth.
Oh, stop it.
It's the truth.
Stop it.
No, why? Because I'm taking your reasonable chat you were just going to give?
All I was going to say is I think there's probably, because we're talking about the full-blown, I go there a bunch, like I moved.
You have a seasonal pass.
Yeah, and you moved close so
Right.
you could go. Like people who are really, really into it in a really aggressive way. And so there's probably some weird reasons some people are like that, but I also think I think life is fucking hard, and
Jesus Christ.
no, let me see where we're going on this. Let me go with me.
Oh, hey guys, life is a highway. and I want to ride it all night long. I don't think molestation's funny. I'm not trying to get laughs off of this.
The fact that you left on the table there, I want to ride it all night long, like the Disney adults had to do to their uncles. Like the fact that you did all this work and you left the best joke on the fucking table?
Not fair. I think that some stuff happens to people and they go, I'm either going to, right? I mean, a broken bottle can be a weapon or it can be turned into art.
That's worse than anything I've ever said.
That's not true.
You remember 3 weeks ago
when
I said the thing about the rocks in the rivers?
That sucks.
That's your rocks in the rivers.
That's the worst thing I've ever fucking heard in my life. My God.
You think
I've
that's
never
worse
quoted
than...
a kung fu movie on here. It's fucking ridiculous.
The
when
river somebody breaks a bottle.
The river never has a direction. It only knows how to go around the rocks because it can't go through. It permeates. It does this.
You
just
said a broken bottle can be a weapon or it can be art.
It can.
That's
if you're
the
broken,
least cool thing any of us have ever said.
You know who said it? You did. You did it. Episode 3.
So, all I was saying, I wasn't talking about trauma. Like, I think we agreed that people get weird when trauma. There's like trauma response. All I'm saying is that like, I actually think life is very hard.
Right.
And I think not everybody.
Hey guys, life is really hard and it's wine o'clock somewhere.
How are you? The thing that like, I'm going to miss you so much when you're dead. But the thing that I won't miss is this outrageous charm where you can just talk about molestation and somehow I wind up the lunatic at the end of it. It's crazy. And you're good at it. Because I'm kind of like, what's wrong with me? Over here trying to explain it normally. And you're like, like, fuck.
Never. I've never used sound effects once.
So here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think you would be surprised how many adults don't have real hobbies.
Right.
I think you'd be surprised how many people, they drink, they go to a bar and they drink, and that's kind of their weekend. They don't, you meet these people. A lot of the happiest people are like, oh, I keep bees. Oh, I do curling. Oh, I do you really find ways to invest your time and your energy. And I think doing that is all like dopamine, the way your brain works. Like, I think we're going to, now this is going to suck. I think I've said this before, but we're going to go to a place, I bet, with science, which we've talked about that last week. You're a big science guy.
Huge science guy.
Huge science guy. I think dopamine regulation is we're already there, but in the coming years, like the way that will play a part in addiction and rehabilitation and all those things, I think will grow and change. And so I think the way people involve themselves in the things that they truly view as an escape and they truly love. Disney adult is no different than the guy with his face painted at the football game who's 65 years old.
I completely agree with you.
And so I just think like my rule is if you are doing something that's a lot, like you're in a goofy costume and I see you doing that, I might go, I don't quite get it. But if you're chill and you're nice, and you're cool, and you're nice to everybody. And I'm not talking about nice to me. You're nice to the people who work there.
And you pay attention.
Yes.
Be nice and pay attention solves 90% of the world's problems.
The moment you become a dick, brother, we're going to have a costume about that face paint at that football game.
But let me tell you
60-year-old.
something. I didn't see one Disney adult being a dick.
Yeah. So that's what I'm...
trust me, I was looking. I was waiting. I was waiting to pounce like an animated puma. I think that it does bring them so much joy. Yeah. It's crazy. I bet within those, I bet they put that stuff on, and it is like, you know how Christmas sometimes makes people nicer. I bet that does that to them. I bet when they're in traffic,
Grinch heart grows.
When they're in traffic waiting to park and all that shit, I bet they're like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to fucking Disneyland today. Now, I don't have that. And again, this whole thing was about how I walk in and I go, what a dipshit. And then as the day progresses...
No, it wasn't what a dipshit. It was you walked in and you went, what a molestation victim.
That's not true. That took a while. I walked in and I go, this is too much. I go, where are your fucking kids? Right? That's what I thought to myself. Where are your fucking children? And then as I watch these people throughout the day get on rides and have the money to have the fast pass because they don't have 3 kids with them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy to the point where I go, I don't know, I might get a fucking shirt. I might get some pins. I might start trading. It was fun to watch, and it was fun to be reminded that I am just so fast to be a prick.
I thought you were going to say autistic.
No. Why would I ever say that?
So
I've taken several tests.
you've taken a test.
No, there were several within that
Yes,
thing.
but that was a test with the night. Can I tell you about, can we shift to a different sort of mouse?
Oh, God. Transition alert. Transition
and
alert.
By the way, one of our most authentic ones ever. This one just fell right into our laps.
Okay.
I feel really good about it. So, as per usual, our home is dealing with a mouse issue.
Okay.
And,
Well, you live on a lake.
And now there is a debate in our home about whether the root cause of said mouse issue is my willingness to leave the garage door open a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And since Jenna doesn't listen to the show, I will tell you, I think that's probably it.
Yeah.
And so don't clip it. But so we went and got a bunch of traps, set them up. We've been catching mice here and there. The first thing that we did was,
What do you do with the mice?
Well, they're dead.
Wow. Clip that.
So the first thing we were using is we were taking little chunks of cheese, kind of balling them up a little bit. Putting that, it's the snap trap, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you put that on there. So we're putting a lot of those down. Where we think they are the most is in our basement furnace room, that area, right?
Okay.
The HVAC system room water heater, where we keep the things that I know a lot about.
Sure.
And so
The mechanical room.
what we started noticing with the cheese is, although you'd catch a mouse here and there, often the cheese balls would be gone and the traps wouldn't be snapped. So in that case, what do?
Call me and ask if I was there?
Peanut butter.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I'm told, because the peanut butter sticks to the
Right.
thing, right? And so we start putting peanut butter traps down there. We go down, Jen and I go down to check on the traps, and there are no mice caught. None of the traps are set, but they're all like licked clean. Like
Interesting.
like shining clean. We're like, okay. And so then we set them with peanut butter again. And then we come down and it's all the peanut butter's gone again. So now we're having a situation. So what do you think is going on? Like what do you think because Jenna's freaking out.
Okay.
And I don't think she's wrong. What sort of animal mouse situation do you think we're dealing with?
I think what you're dealing with here is 2 mice.
Okay.
And one of them ate all your cheese,
Okay.
and then he left. And he was like, oh, fuck. This is a gold mine over here. These dipshits are just handing out free stuff. And so he comes back, and he goes, here's the deal. I'm a little fat because I've had the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to sit on this side of it, and then you lick that motherfucker clean, and then you bring me some the next time. So you wipe it with your paw, you bring me some, I eat some, you go back, lick it clean. And then he just keeps sitting on the trap, and so it won't fold over and snap. And the other one is just licking it clean, and then it's just constantly set.
So
I think it's a 2-mouse
you think
operation.
it's a 2-mouse operation. Well, let me tell you what I think is going on.
Okay.
I think what's going on is mouse traps at Kroger are like $1.
Okay.
And so, after the mouse stole the cheese, I went down one morning and I had to replace one of the mouse traps that caught a mouse, because I'm the one who gets up really early in the morning and checks out the mouse traps. And I was like, God, wouldn't it be funny if I replaced all of them? So I have just been replacing the mouse traps every single day. So my wife thinks we have a ratatouille IQ level mouse in our house. I'm still catching and getting rid of mice, but it's just a thing. She hasn't listened to the show. It's just a thing that's happening where she thinks we have some mutant genius mouse, and it's like the best thing I have going on. Isn't that fun?
That's very
It's
fun.
pretty good. I feel really good about it.
Hey, Dad, how come I can't go to college? Well, a mousetrap scheme that I had when you were a baby toddler.
When Molly and I had mice in the apartment once, and some of these mouse traps have like the part where you put the cheese or peanut butter has like holes in it. It's yellow and it looks like cheese or whatever.
Yes.
So I would take shredded cheese and thread it through one of those holes and then cover it with peanut butter. So then when they tried to take it, would stick the cheese, so they'd have to put more force on it, because I was also getting mice that were like actually licking the peanut butter off. So I would let the peanut butter harden with the cheese on it, so they had to like pull the cheese to get it out, and then it would snap them and kill them.
You had fucking mouse Goebbels back there.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I like how Justin basically was like, here's the deal. Me and my house, I've been working on the final solution for mice.
Right.
They get trapped in the trap, and they don't always die, so they got a little limp to them. And then it's right. I turned a shoebox into a mouse gas chamber. Built a little train set that runs through.
Yeah, that's hardcore, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to get the mice out of our house, not create a mouse genocide.
Can I tell you what I've been up to? So, I've had some free time.
Okay.
And on my off weekends and even some weekdays, I decide I'm going to see where the cheapest flight is, and I'm just going to go check out a city I've never been to. Well, the first time I get to the airport, the cheapest flight is to CVG. You may know that because that is Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky.
That's where I live.
Yeah. And so I flew there, and
when?
Well,
how hurt am I going to be?
It's probably a month ago. It's probably a month ago.
Oh, I hate that my body doesn't let me storm off. You know that.
I know. And I know you're sad, but
I'm not sad.
I couldn't.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I couldn't see you. You couldn't know I was there. Because
Which is a form of lying.
No, it's not. Well, you didn't ask if I was there. So what I did, I landed.
Well, be prepared for a lot of texts every
I rented
day.
a car. And
you rented a car?
Yeah.
You're doing this on drive? Okay.
I went to
the Creationism Museum?
No.
Without me?
I went to a pet store, and I got a bunch of mice.
How are we 900 episodes in, and for a moment I actually thought he did it?
And anyways, I put into GPS, where is almost a lake? And then I drove there, and I released all of these mice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great. Great content, Chad.
Thank you. So Olivia
is
a junior in college, living in a house with 4 other people, has friends.
Women or men?
1 guy, 3 women, and then her.
Okay.
And then lots of other friends from just whatever. Still has her boyfriend, Sweet Cole. And I was at the Irvine Improv, and they all made the drive to come to a show.
Interesting.
There were 14 of them.
Ooh, that is such a large group.
And at one point, I said into the microphone, I may never be allowed back into my daughter's home, which I pay for, because of the things that I have said here today.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It was, I believe at one point, and fast forward if you don't want to hear some cursing, but I said to the crowd, you guys can suck my fucking dick so hard, which I don't even think that'd be comfortable. I don't know why I suggested it, but I was, Irvine is interesting. It's an interesting group because it is hardcore fans, and then it
rich people.
It is rich people that have been told their opinion matters the most. And God damn it, they're wrong. They're so dumb. If you're super rich and your opinion matches someone's opinion that talks like this, then you're also dumb. That's how it works.
Well, first of all, I don't know why my people got thrown under the bus here.
I'm sorry, Greg. But man, and afterwards, they all came through and they were like, hey, that was really great. And one guy was like, thanks for having us, Mr. Daniels. And I'm like, are you saying
that sucks?
Is that because of the sucking the dick thing? Probably.
That sucks so much because it's a bummer because you have So I just dealt with this last night. We went and played trivia without you because you won't come. And we went and played trivia. Myself, former producer, one episode producer, JPG.
That's why I wouldn't come.
Yep. And Madonna Scale Ethan.
Yep.
And we went there because my niece, Ellie, new parent with her husband Noah, was going out with two of their couple friends. And Ethan and I really wanted to come. And she's like, I don't think that's a good idea.
Right.
And we were like, but we think it's a great idea. And then she was like, they're not like you.
Right.
And so I think her main concern was, and because here's the thing, Ethan has...
Did she say they're normal? And you just took it to be they're not like you?
Probably.
Okay.
So...
Also, how much fun did the baby have at trivia?
They didn't. The baby stayed home.
Oh,
I thought
thought maybe you got asked to watch the baby and you were like,
I'm bringing him to trivia.
Let's
bring the baby to
upstart this baby's brain.
Let me beat all. By the way, listen to me, those of you who go to trivia and cheat so you can win a gift card, you're the scum of the earth.
That is weird.
You cheat so you can beat your niece's team after a bad showing in the first 4 rounds. Obviously. You don't cheat to get the gift card. That's fucking dishonest.
Yeah.
Whoever wins the gift card should win it for real. What am I doing the ragu thing with my hands?
Hey, Chef Boyardee.
You are winner.
So we played trivia last summer. It was Olivia and Kelsey and I, and there was a table.
Out at a bar?
Yeah.
So
at
this
a
is up
bar.
at the lake?
Yeah.
What's the location? I
A
just
table-
asked you to start playing trivia and we could play it together up at the lake?
A table full of olds.
Okay.
And they're getting Chapel Roan and shit like that. And it was one of her B-side songs.
No.
And they're hey, and now 14 for 14. The new leader is Grandpas and Grandpa, whatever it was.
No, they're called Grandpas and Grandpas.
Yeah, they definitely were. A lot of mustaches on the lead.
Yeah.
So Grandpas and Grandpas won, and we were like, "There's no fucking way," because of all of the pop culture references you had to get. Even Olivia was struggling. She's like, "Oh man, I know I should know this because I'm the youngest one," and then they were getting it. It's like there's no and they're all on their phones, and you go, "Well, I don't know. Maybe they're checking their blood sugar or some shit."
You want to know the shitty thing I did?
Yeah.
You see it running in me right now?
Mm-hmm.
So I did a couple shitty things. One shitty thing. There was first 4 rounds were worth 25 total points.
Okay.
So it was 3 5-point rounds and then 1 10-point round. 2 teams got 25 out of 25.
Okay.
Liars. They're liars. And then both of those got an almost perfect second round, and they were tied, and then they had to square off. And there was this one category that was songs sung a cappella of like famous songs, like something by the Beatles was one of them, and a Stevie Nicks song was another one, and it was so difficult, right? And 2 of the songs were like something by Ariana Grande and something by Olivia Rodrigo, and they got all of them. And I looked at one of the tables I was competing on, I was like, you don't fucking, not only do you not know who Olivia Rodrigo is, like, so I walked up, and I just walked up to the table as we were leaving, and now here's what, I'm upset. So my niece didn't want us to come because she was basically like on the phone. She's like, could you guys just not say the F word? And I was like, yeah, because Ethan goes out in public with me a lot. She and I, Ellie and I hang out a lot, but it's never in a group adult setting. So she only knows the at-home maniac. And she doesn't know that 5% of the time I do have the ability to hide it. And so
No.
5%.
Okay.
5%.
Sure. Okay.
Dude, fuck you. And so... So
there it was, the 5%.
So we do great. Like our table is by theirs, and I'm going in and I'm checking the score, and everything's going good, and they all seem like we're having a nice back and forth. And there's this thing called the ranking round or something. So in the second half, you get to rank your answers. Instead of everything being worth 1 point, the answer you're most confident in is worth 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And my big criticism of our team in the first half is we don't listen to the lady because Joe's talking. Ethan's giggling, I can't hear, and then Joe and I are arguing, and we're missing the instructions.
That's why I don't go with you.
That's not about me. That's
I
about
know it's
Joe.
not about you. It's about the company you keep. It's about the company you keep.
But I'll not let Joe come when we go together. So, we missed this announcement about the ranking round, and we walk over and we're just trying to beat my niece's team. And she's like, what round did you do for the ranking round? And this is like the end of the day. Everything's getting tallied up, and we're like, what's the ranking round? And then they explain it to us. And I just look at Joe and I, dude, suck my fucking dick, dude. You dumb motherfucker. And I kept it together the whole time. And then it just like, it unraveled. So I'm already
Can't pass the class when you fail the final.
And so I'm already not like, I'm like, oh, I screwed that up. And I'm so mad that these teams cheated. I just walked by a table of like, one of the guys had a ponytail. He was like an old man with a like at least your age or older with a ponytail.
Yeah.
And
he
I
probably
just
jerks off to Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah, I just walked over and I said the name of the Olivia Rodrigo song, and I go, can one of you guys tell me the chorus of that Olivia Rodrigo song? And then I just walked away. Because they couldn't even get fucking close because one of them was on their phone. You don't know this song?
Yeah,
you're cheaters.
You're a spaz. That's why I can't do it.
But I'm saying, like, you're just disrupting the sanctity of the gift card.
Well, maybe it's important that they do it.
What do you mean? You would love me. You don't think me trying to have an effect on people who are cheating at trivia is not something you're going to support?
I'm going to tell you something. I could almost guarantee that if I were there, you would not go over and say that to those people.
Because you just said it 45 minutes ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You'd have walked over there singing the lines up to it and making it do it.
Yeah, so that's why I don't go to trivia. It's because A, I don't want people to know actually how dumb I am, and B, I know that I would freak out on stuff like that because I was yelling at the grandpas and grandpas.
Yeah.
And Kelsey and Olivia and I won the week before, and then they have...
You've gone multiple times?
Oh, yeah, we go every week, dog.
Dude, fuck this show. Suck my fucking dick. I'm going to be up there 3 times for 10 days, and I just asked you about trivia, and you guys go every week? I'd be a great addition to the team.
This is why I didn't invite you to Disneyland.
Before we leave,
I
have to tell you something because I forgot to tell you last week, and it happened when I was in Chicago. So I was in Chicago. I was in Chicago. I was in Chicago.
Are you killing time? What's going on?
I don't know. Sometimes when I stutter, I like to just make noises as though it's something I intentionally do.
Oh.
So I did Zanies. Love the club. That staff is outrageous.
I haven't been there in over 10 years.
Outrageous how wonderful they are. So really good weekend. I brought with me the very funny Eland Stribling.
Yeah, Denver.
Out of Denver.
Fly fisherman,
stand-up
fairly
comedian.
new father.
Yeah, fairly new father. Yeah. Yes, all of these are true. Very, very funny. Incredibly funny. Incredibly easy to be around. And after one of the shows, a guy approached him with his wife, and the wife wanted to kiss him.
Okay.
Handsome, 6'4", handsome black
Something
fella.
like that, yeah.
6 foot. He's a good-looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
Woman wants to kiss him, and he's like, no. And then the husband's like, just let it. Now the husband is working on the wife's behalf to try to get him to kiss her, and he just staunchly refused, which I totally understand with him being a black guy. You know, you don't want to he leans in for the kiss, and all of a sudden the husband's like, officer!
Officer!
Yeah,
fucking stand your ground state.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So he didn't kiss the woman.
I mean, can we just also say, though, that's also a good rule for the Whites?
I think it's a good rule for...
just don't kiss anybody. After a show, if a woman comes up and says, "Can I kiss you?" the answer is always no. If you're single, if you're whatever. Not right in the fucking line. If you're single, you go...
I don't know that there's not really a line there. There's more in the mix.
Oh, in the mix. Okay. Well, I think if you're single, the move there is to go, is it going to lead to fucking? And then they go,
no. You ask that question?
Well, I wouldn't. But I'm saying, if you're single, I'm saying that she goes, "Can I kiss you?" And you go, "Is it going to lead to fucking?" And she goes, "No, I just want to kiss." And then, no chance then.
I was curious which way you were going to go on that.
Either we bang or we don't touch.
Honestly, I think...
Because that shuts a lot of people down.
And I agree. I don't think it's a good idea to kiss someone after the show. But what does it say about me that at this point in my life, I've gotten to this point where I've lost all this weight, and I'm not as confident in my material as I used to be. And why didn't she want to kiss me?
Do you want?
Tell me it's a race thing. Say it's a race thing. It has to be, because otherwise I'm going to unravel. You're out here kissing Elon. He only did 15 minutes on that show.
But in the sweet spot.
It was in the sweet spot, but I had a great set. Now, did I leave the stage and stand in the front row and talk to a guy about his jacket for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah. And was the crowd on board with that? No.
No. Yeah.
So I don't know that I did have as good a set as him, but come on.
But
I'm the
also,
headliner, baby.
I know, but maybe
Offer your wife up to me, you weird cuck.
Maybe the husband was like,
Get Jenna on FaceTime. Can we make it a 3-way kiss? Mwah.
Maybe the husband was like, I know you want to kiss Cy, but I don't want to have to listen when we bring him home and he's pegging you in the fucking corner while I'm using my camera. I don't want to have to hear him go, and that's how knives were made in the fire, or whatever that bit is.
Fortune fire.
Oh yeah, fortune fire.
I have been, I think it's my presentation. I understand. When do you think, because this happened to me, when do you think ugly child, right? Ugly child into a weird looking young adult with a bunch of zits, into this very fleeting moment where handsome and talent were meeting at this place that, when do you think we crossed where the handsome went down too far? Like, when do you think we hit that inflection point?
COVID.
Where you think that's when it happened, where the handsomeness no longer allowed people to ignore what was really happening with me as like a person on stage.
As a person on stage?
And off stage. Let's go with off stage too.
Yeah. I don't think you ever got to be that handsome where they were ignoring that.
You don't think so?
I think they were like, wow, he's really good looking, but fuck that.
Yeah, well then...
I think so you had handsome.
I was kidding. I don't want an answer to this. I don't want an answer to this. I shouldn't have asked it. I don't want an answer to this.
Oh, because I have about a 45-minute theory.
I know, that's why I don't want an answer. I just needed something to say at the end of the show to kill the extra minute or two as we got close to the end. And yeah, I do think that the woman you don't bring treats for your best friend, you bring treats for the class.
Right. Well,
you kiss Eland, and then you kiss me, and then you kiss Cody, and then you kiss Max.
Okay. Well, Cliff's Notes version.
Yeah.
Eland's just so much better looking.
That's what I was worried about. That is what I was worried about. And it's fine. It's fine. We're fine. It's fine.
Is it? Yeah.
It's fine.
No, it looks like it.
Everything's fine.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't look like you...
I'm doing fine.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I love the way I look.
You had a haircut that you weren't confident in.
I love the way I look.
And then a woman came up and wanted to kiss the person.
This is what you do with your dad. I love the way I look.
Yeah.
I love what's happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I look great. And you had an awesome dad.
He was great. You kidding me?
I agree with you. He's a great dad.
I'm 50 and I can throw the ball further than you. I'm more accurate.
What are you doing this for?
I'm more accurate.
Why are you doing this?
Because I'm telling you, like, a lot of things he did got me to be the man I am today.
Don't defend your stupid dad thing. You get a dad thing. I get a handsome thing.
Is amazing, and he's still alive, and he's looking for me. He's trying to find me because he loves me, and he's loved me from day one.
He's actually the guy who tried to get Elon to kiss his wife. Hey, if you guys like this, there will be a new episode next Monday and every single Monday at 8 a.m. So click the subscribe button so your phone sends it to you without having to do any work.